Successful people in life really value their time because if you don't respect yourself, well then you don't value your time. When I see successful people, I see successful women in our program, they understand their most precious asset in life is time. It's not money, it's not that like money you can always get back. Time you can't. You only have so much time until the lights go out. And there's a lot of women in our program who some are very smart, and I believe them when they say they know what they need to do, but they outsource this because they don't have time. They have careers, they have family, they travel, they're taking care of parents, they have all this stuff going on. And then when you would add on top of it, what workout to do, when should I work out, what should I eat, when should I eat, should I do this, should I do that, it just becomes overload for them, and it's overwhelming. There's a lot of women that work with us because they don't necessarily know exactly what to do because their body has changed or what's going to work for them. But there's also probably 10-20% of women who work with us, simply they're very successful, they're high earning women, they have a lot going on in their life, and they just understand like, hey, my time is valuable. I don't have time to meal prep or research these recipes or do this do that. And because of that, they respect their time so much that they almost use our program to delegate it. They're like, hey, I need a game plan. I need to be told what to do. I need accountability. I need support. If you lay out a game plan and it's tailored for me, my body, my lifestyle, I will go and execute it. And they do. And they do it at a high level. That's why they're successful in life. But I think a lot of women that struggle, they don't value their time, and they already say one of their biggest constraints is they don't have time, and then they try to go off and do it on their own. It's like, well, you're just adding more to your plate, where you said you're overweight and you're struggling because of time. And then when you try to do something by yourself and research these things and try this and try that, you're just time is becoming even, you're wasting more time and you have more things on your plate. So it's just like this snowball effect. And a lot of women, I also see this character trait with successful women that we work with that's interesting is the more successful that they are, the less ego that they have. Now they're very confident. They're confident to walk into a meeting with like 10 men and, show that they're the real deal and have this presence, do business meetings or go to court or, sell a house. They're very confident, but there's difference between confidence and ego. A lot of women that we speak to, they're very confident in their ability, like in their career, being a mom, being a wife, but they drop their ego when it comes to their health and fitness. They're like, hey, I went to school to be a nurse practitioner. I went to school to be a doctor, an attorney. I work as a real estate agent. I have my own business. Like that's my area of expertise. I understand I don't know everything when it comes to my health and fitness. And I just think the smarter that somebody is, the more successful that they are. They understand that they don't know everything, and they're open and willing to get help. People that struggle in life, in all areas of life, they have this ego where they think they know how to do everything on their own. As soon as you think there's nothing to learn, you're screwed in life. And women that are successful in our program, they're lifelong learners. They're always trying to learn and grow and become better versions of themselves tomorrow than they were today. It's very interesting that we'll have some woman who's like, talking to her and she's like struggling and not doing really well in her career and, has some personal life issues. But then they tell us like, oh, I know what I need to do. I've done it before. I used to work with a professional bodybuilder back in the day. And like, I need to do that, do this, do that. And then they, go off and try to do it on their own, and they struggle and they just spin their wheels. And then you have like an Ivy League educated attorney. We've had a couple in our program that are probably IQ is very, very high. They're very, very smart, and they have no ego. They're like, no, I need help. What worked for me in the past no longer does. I'm so busy. I have so much going on. Like I need a program. I need to work with you, Bo. I need, accountability and support from a coach. It's just really, really interesting. But two things: when you don't respect yourself, you don't respect your time. The higher level of respect that you have for yourself, you value your time because you know that's your most precious asset. And I also see the more successful that you are, successful people don't, they have confidence, they don't have egos. And there's a big difference, because we work with a lot of women who are very, very successful with great families, great career. They earn a great living, they travel, they live this great life, but they have zero ego. And then the women that we speak to at sometimes that are really struggling, they have a huge ego and think that they can do it on their own. So you see this contrast in this woman's really successful, this woman's struggling, this woman has an ego the size of the earth, and this woman has no ego whatsoever. It's like it's very interesting. So the takeaway and the point of this is to just really stop and think about things. Like, are you respecting your time? But it starts with respecting yourself, because if you don't respect yourself, yeah, waste all the time in the world. But when you start to respect yourself, you respect your time, because you know time is not infinite. We only have so much. You can get back money, you can't get back time. Secondly, drop the ego, because if you're 50 pounds overweight and you've been there for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, and you say like, I know what I need to do, I can get there on my own, you look really stupid. You look really stupid saying that. Because remember also too, life doesn't reward you based on what you say you'll do. It rewards you based on what you actually do. And you might say you know what to do, or you might say you know what it takes, you've done it before, but when you struggled for 10 years and nothing has changed, you look rather silly. We'll see you on the next one.